Hi, good evening. I'm Elaine, and this is my daughter. I convinced her to help me.
She forced me to.
Help me to discuss something like everybody struggled about it. Even for me, I remember when I was much younger than younger than these days. No, it's because it's more on self-esteem, insecurities that we do have, and how do we overcome it. So basically for me, I got lots of insecurities when I was younger. B- Probably because of the, maybe, but I'm not saying that that's the primary reason at all, but it's a contributing factor. On my part, it was less assurance from your parents about love. Maybe it will be considered as insecurities of yourself. Second, it's because of the environmental, that people around you, especially in your school, and your aunts, your relatives, you get negative feedback that sometimes you're too attached on the information, on those opinions. So, and third, it's because you don't know really yourself. So, going back to those reasons that I said, so
Going back on those reasons.
for those reasons, I guess it contributes me to be shy, to be have self doubt. And how did I overcome this? Primarily when I joined in the uniform service. It boosts my confidence that I I can do what I think I can, and um, mostly it's um, knowing yourself, that you know yourself better than those other opinions that it's around you. How about you, say?
Honestly, I'd say that, I don't know, self esteem basically roots off like the environment around you. I don't know, maybe like
Your parents.
your parents, your family, like everyone that's around you and stuff like that. Or maybe social media. You
Mm-hmm.
scroll through stuff, then you see these people make up insecurities that you didn't even know that they existed. Like, so there's this thing that's apparently an insecurity now. It's called hip dips, but everyone has hip dips.
What's that?
I don't know. So
Insecurity?
I don't know. It sounds like I'm pretty sure this hip dips thing is like your hips going in like this. I don't know, something like that. It has to do something with that. But I don't see what the point of like being insecure about that. Isn't that normal for everyone? And then
Okay.
I don't
So,
know.
social media is a factor.
People are making up insecurities to just
Mm.
profit off of them. Like some people, they'll be like, they'll make up an insecurity like, oh, you have a too round face, so to
Mm.
fix this problem, we will give you these pills. You should profit off of them and buy them so we can get money. They just make them up.
Okay, so insecurities, it's more on the, because of the standard of the society,
Yes, people's
maybe.
standards has gone up so
Mm.
high, but they can't expect. So they expect everyone to be the same, but can't other people be the same?
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of people get discriminated because they're different. But what's the point in that? Everyone's the same.
So, what are we going to do then? Yeah, I guess it's rampant, especially with their generation, because it's more on technologies, right? So the standard of having what do you call this? Having norms as a standard it's way higher that's compared to us. Like for me, on those days, the insecurities came from more on the emotional. Probably on my side, it's more on the emotional assurance that you get from the people around you. But on your part right now, it's more on the social aspect, because um, it's more on internet. What do you call this?
Yeah, it
It's
roots off like because
technologies,
they
right?
expect everyone to look the same. Because sometimes people will make fun of a person because they just look different. But what's the point of that? Just because they look
Everybody's
different,
different, right?
just because they look different from you doesn't mean that they should look the same. That'd be so bland and boring.
Look at this, what I have.
What the heck? What the heck?
Who put this one? Okay. So, um, so social media, it's not necessarily good thing, good things, right? It's they have the advantage, but you have to learn how to
And
be
to
selective and try to know your, I guess, the primary the primary point that you have to primary na gani point, the primary things that you have to equip yourself first, especially from you, because you're still young. It's know yourself first, you know your value, and try to instill on your mind that people around you will say something negative, but you yourself knows you better. You know your value, you know your love, and you know what's your goal in life. So if you know yourself, those negative feedback from other people will just be a feedback, but it won't affect you really. Maybe it will affect you for once. It will help you, like, um, if people say, "Oh, you're so snobbish" or something, you look different. You can say, "Yeah, I look different," but it's different perspective now. Instead of feeling bad about it, maybe you can say, "Yeah, I'm different. I'm unique, and this is how I am." So, and try to be contented. Is it difficult to be contented? See,
no.
like
In difficult situations, is it difficult to become contented?
with your physical appearance that contribute to your insecurities, something like that. No,
Yes.
is it? Okay. For me, I get some insecurities, but I don't think that it's a big factor. Like, for this eyelid, it's small things, but I see as much as possible. I see it as a package. I'm okay with whatever I am, so I don't feel that it's considered as what do you call this, a big something to expand or something to make big deals out of it. Try to put some on my side. I'm using my eyeglasses just to cover it up, things like that. But but how come those insecurities sometimes they lead to depression? No. So as an Asian, say, do you have any insecurities?
I don't know. Sometimes I feel discriminated or like not favorited because of my skin color. Because I don't know. Or sometimes I don't know the way I
Okay.
talk
Or
or just how I look like.
okay. And how shall I say it? In the workplace, I don't feel that it's discriminated. Yes, I can, one or two person will be, but I try to sway it out. Oh, how they say it? Say
Brush it off.
brush it off, because I know in
You
myself.
won't let that affect you.
I try to not to be affected on it if they have this notion, things like that, and I will prove to them that whatever negative notion they have, the final laugh will be on my side, not on them. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm contented with my son. How about you? For difficult pa na? Because
Yeah.
you're still she's still on what do you call this teenager years. So hormonal imbalance is still with her. Why are you looking at like that? Okay. So finally, on our about self-esteem, especially as an Asian, try to know yourself better. Second, it's those families that surrounded by. So second, for the parents, as I said earlier, try to give assurance to your kids that you love them. I love you. Sometimes we are the one who causes the insecurities, but uh, try to always tell them that um, it's it's not
You can have it.
it's not about the sometimes you discipline them. It's not be cautious that on those things that you're going to say or do to them, because sometimes it will affect their self-esteem. But I know parents has a good intention just to give discipline or just to give a lesson to the kids, but try to subtle or explain what whenever you're doing things that it's negative towards your kids. And finally, it's build a community that you feel that you are safe. Like for me, it boosted my self-esteem when I was in Bureau of Jail Management and Penology. I learned a lot, and I learned discipline. I learned myself, the strength and weaknesses that I have. And later on in my life, like in when we moved here in Canada, I'm having this deep appreciation. Thing. So as I said, it's when I had the training in BGMP, it helps me to be more disciplined, know myself better, me know my weaknesses and strength. And I had what do you call this realization when I moved here how help, helpful it was for me. And even now, lots of struggles and adversity that we encounter here in Canada. But you, when you think about those training you had, it's just a piece of cake or piece of pie already. So you don't really make it a big deal. So you just way of your thinking. It's just we we encounter worse than this one. So this is a small things only for me. So yeah. How about you say?
I don't know.
In your school lang.
School
Insecurity.
schools I don't know. They pointed out things that I didn't know I had.
Mm?
Like, I don't know, my personality sometimes, and then I was like, oh, okay.
Mhm. But you know yourself better.
No, I don't.
When when confusion or conflict of opinions start on your brain, or you feel that it's conflict or contradicting, that's the time you're trying to understand what you're reading. You're trying to understand yourself. So it's normal. And then you will find you'll be the one to judge if those opinions that given to you is that really you, or maybe what's their goal on saying those words to you. Is it going to help me to be a better person, or they are trying to push put me down, things like that. So you'll be the best judge on what's the real intentions.
Okay.
Okay.
Is that the end?
Huh? Say thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, thanks. Thank you, Say, for helping me.
Yay.